Commissioner O'Grady will join us in a minute, and we'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance led by Commissioner Boyce.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Prosecutor in the room. Okay, we have the approval of the minutes of September 5, 2017 general session and the minutes of June 15, 2017 briefing session. We need approval for that.
So move.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
The minutes have been approved.
Okay, we're going to change the order since we have a judge in the House and go to municipal court first. And we'll do that resolution.
Resolution number 630-17. Resolution authorizing a transfer of general fund appropriations for appointed council expenditures.
Good morning, Commissioners. Emily Shaw with the Franklin County Municipal Court, and with me is Paige Allen, who is the manager of the court's specialized dockets, and then also in the audience is the Honorable Judge Cindy Moorhart. The first resolution before you today is seeking a supplemental appropriation in the amount of $120,900 for appointed counsel expenses that arise as a result of those conflicts that occur on public defender cases within the court. So pending any additional questions.
Okay.
Move for passage of 630-17.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Resolution number 630-17 has been adopted. Resolution number 631-17. Resolution authorizing a memorandum of understanding for the continuation of support for the Franklin County Municipal Court specialized dockets in the amount of $340,000.
And the next resolution is requesting a memorandum of understanding with the Commissioner's Office for continuation of support of the specialized docket. It is in the amount of $340,000 and does go towards the overall operation of the dockets, and it also is a match by the City of Columbus, Ohio. Secondarily, we receive funding from the County Prosecutor's Office, the Common Pleas Court, and some grant funds as well. And I know that Judge Moorhart has a couple of things to say.
Good morning, Judge Moorhart.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome.
Commissioner Brown, Commissioner Boyce, everyone else, good morning. I'm Judge Cindy Moorhart. As the presiding judge for the Mental Health Specialized Docket on behalf of the Franklin County Municipal Court Bench, I want to thank the Franklin County Commissioners for their vision, innovation, and commitment. Your continued support of the Specialized Docket Department of the Municipal Court has enabled us to become the largest Specialized Docket Department in Ohio and one of the largest in the nation. We have 5 Supreme Court certified specialized dockets, 2 educational programs, and we manage all of the forensic restorations for the court. Each week we serve between 300 and 375 high-risk, high-need citizens with severe substance use and mental health challenges that have contributed to their criminal behaviors. The specialized docket is largely funded by our community partners who also believe in providing restorative justice as the model approach for reducing recidivism and stabilizing offenders' substance use and mental health issues. We continue to seek funding from multiple sources. Sometimes we win, sometimes we lose. The consistency of your funding, however, allows us to maintain our excellence, to focus on the development of evidence-based programs, and to serve as a beacon of innovation for the state. For example, we are one of 2 counties statewide that OMAS recently awarded $1 million to use over 2 years to pilot a program of providing injectable antipsychotic medication to mental health court participants prior to their release from jail. This program will allow us to release stable citizens, back in our community to support their ongoing recovery and to aid them in maintaining their medication compliance. Our mission is to keep our neighborhoods safer by returning contributing citizens to their families and the community. Our graduates are remarkable citizens, grateful, passionate about helping others, and deeply aware of the value of the services that have been received. Before I leave, I would be remiss if I didn't thank you and your staff for your support of the Work Release Program as well. The Work Release Program allows the participant to maintain his or her employment and provides the opportunity for them to pay toward their court-ordered restitution, fines, costs, and child support. The per diem rate for this program is $66 compared to the almost $80 county jail per diem. The cost-saving nature of the program is underscored by the fact that each participant is required to pay a contribution of 25% of their gross income while in the program to help offset costs and extend the length of the program's funding. Lastly, the Work Release Program allows one of the county's most restrictive and costly resources, its county jail beds, to be used for the higher needs, higher risk level defendants. So again, we are extremely grateful for your support, and I want to thank you so very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thanks, Judge.
Thank you, Judge.
Yeah, I just said thank you as well because, you know, as we're talking about the new jail facility, for example, it's these type of collaborative resources that are going to really make differences in lives and impact this recidivism rate, impact the ability for people to be successful even though they made a bad choice at some point, and that's really what the whole process is supposed to be about anyways. And so this just underscores that, and so I'm happy to move for passage of Resolution 631-17.
And as I second it, and I will say I just came back from a conference of data-driven justice, and with justice folks, law enforcement, and our mental health providers, and this was up for discussion of how we really tackle the recidivism and the use of specialty dockets, as well as tracking the actual data of success long-term in all of our data capturing. So I am wanting to see that data as we are looking at all of our data capture. This is wonderful news that you're really looking hard at evidence-based methods to keep people from recidivating. So that'll be great. So with that, I second.
Moved and second in voting, Commissioner Boyce,
Yes.
Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Resolution number 631-17 has been adopted.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, the Clerk of Courts.
Resolution number 629-17, resolution authorizing a contract with Huntington National Bank for banking services in the amount of $10,000.
Good
Morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
Sean Reeder, Fiscal Officer for the Clerk of Courts. The Clerk's Bank contract for depository and disbursement services is due for renewal. The Franklin County Purchasing Department publicly advertised an RFP in accordance with the Ohio Revised Code. 4 sealed bids were submitted by Huntington, Key, PNC, and U.S. banks. The bids were reviewed for compliance by purchasing and independently evaluated by the Clerk's office in response to specifications and pricing. Submitting the lowest and best bid, Huntington National Bank was selected to provide banking services for the Clerk of Courts. The Clerk's office is recommending a 3-year contract with an estimated annual value of $10,000.
If there are no comments or questions, move for passage of 629-17.
I'll second.
Moved and second in voting, Commissioner Boyce,
Yes.
Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Resolution number 629-17 has been adopted.
Thank you, Commissioners.
The Coroner.
Resolution number 632-17, resolution authorizing a transfer of general fund appropriations for the purchase of medical supplies, services, and equipment.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Matthew Cottle, Director of the Franklin County Coroner's Office, on behalf of Dr. Ortiz, the Franklin County Coroner. This year, the Coroner's Office continues to experience an increase in caseload. In 2017, we are projecting an increase of 20.6% of autopsies, an additional 218 cases, as well as the toxicology services continue to increase in quantity and complexity as we attempt to identify additional illicit drugs and their dangerous analogs. Materials and service costs also continue to rise. Due to these increases, we would respectfully request additional appropriations be transferred for services and materials to cover medical and testing supplies, perishable reagents, needed upgrades for our laboratory equipment and repairs, as well as the continuation of HR personnel support and transcription services. Additionally, donations reserved for the 2017 Opiate Summit currently reside within our revenue in the general fund, $38,000 of which we would request to be transferred to hosted events to fully cover the expenses from the summit. We were fortunate to receive $89,000 from generous donors. Finally, we request additional appropriations to purchase a replacement nitrogen generator for the toxicology lab. This was originally requested in our 2018 budget, but due to the current state of our existing equipment, it's been recommended we purchase it this year. This resolution requests a transfer of $171,762 to materials and services and capital outlays. The transfer includes $121,762 from the Commissioner's Contingency Fund and $50,000 from the Coroner's Office Fringe Benefits Fund. So we would respectfully ask for your approval for this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, move for passage of 632-17.
Second.
Moved and second in voting, Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Resolution number 632-17 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thanks, Matt. Fleet Management.
Resolution number 633-17, resolution to rescind resolution number 175-16, authorizing a settlement to Mr. Gordon Champagne for a disputed vehicle damage claim due to an auto accident involving a Franklin County Sheriff's deputy.
Good morning. Charlotte Ashcraft, Director of Fleet Management. This resolution is requesting to rescind Resolution 175-16. On March 15, 2016, the Board approved the resolution in settlement of a property damage claim. The accident occurred on June 17, 2015. The other party did not sign the necessary documents to complete the claim. A change in name has been made and the claim resubmitted. The amount of the claim remains the same. Riddle Hill and Zimmerman, our claim service, and the prosecuting attorney's office have been involved and recommend this change. In order to proceed with the next resolution with the Sheriff's Office, we request the original resolution 175-16 be rescinded. Pending any questions, I request passage of this.
If there are no comments or questions, move for passage of 633-17.
I'll second.
Moved and second in voting, Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Resolution number 633-17 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning.
Sorry, Sheriff, so I apologize.
Making sure I wasn't. That was the correct.
Resolution number 634-17, resolution authorizing a settlement to Mary Champagne for a disputed vehicle damage claim due to an auto accident involving a Franklin County Sheriff's deputy in the amount of $500.
Good morning, Commissioners. Dave Masterson, Director of Administrative Services for Sheriff Baldwin. This resolution approves a settlement of a vehicle damage claim from an accident that occurred on June 17, 2015. It replaces the one just rescinded by Fleet Management, or asked to be rescinded. Per the recommendation of the prosecutor and County Fleet Management, it offers payment of $500 to settle the claim, and pending any questions, I ask approval of this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, move for passage of 634-17.
Second.
Moved and second in voting, Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Resolution number 634-17 has been adopted. Resolution number 635-17, resolution authorizing a transfer of appropriation and a purchase order for the return of prisoners.
Commissioners, this resolution does authorize a transfer of appropriations and the approval of a purchase order for the transportation of prisoners. It covers the expenses of transporting 45 prisoners during June and 35 prisoners during July. The itemized reports have been submitted and approved by the sheriff, and pending any questions, I ask approval of this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, move for passage of 635-17.
Second.
Moved and second in voting, Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Resolution number 635-17 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Veteran Services.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good
morning.
morning.
Commissioner O'Grady.
We need to remove this resolution from the table.
So move to remove Resolution 617-17 from the table?
Second.
Moved and second in voting, Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Resolution number 617-17 has been removed from the table. Resolution number 617-17, resolution authorizing a contract with Aero Express, Blue Cab of America, Bobcat Radio Service, Bobcat Taxi, Central Ohio German Village Taxi, Certified Network, Columbus Taxi Services, Metro Transportation, Secure Transportation, Westside Taxi, and Wheels to Go for medical transportation services in the amount of $435,816.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hi, Bud.
Hi. We request to table this resolution indefinitely as we continue to work with the Purchasing Department and the County Prosecutor's Office toward resolution.
Move to table Resolution 617-17 indefinitely.
Second.
Moved and second in voting, Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Resolution number 617-17 has been tabled indefinitely.
Thank you.
Thanks, Bud. Job and Family Services.
Resolution number 636-17, resolution approving 4 subaward agreements with Community Refugee and Immigration Services, Ethiopian Tewahedo Social Services, Jewish Family Services, and Us Together Incorporated for employability programs under the Refugee Social Services Program in the amount of $729,785.
Good morning, Commissioners. Joy Bibbins, Franklin County Job and Family Services. Franklin County Job and Family Services is the only county agency that receives state funding from our state to service refugees. Last year, Franklin County Collaborative was awarded a grant to help eligible newly arrived refugees across Central Ohio to address some of the barriers that they may experience as it relates to employability. The ultimate goal was to move them into employment as soon as possible. Over the last year, the Collaborative has assisted more than 270 refugees. More than 60% of these families or individuals that receive jobs in the pay range of about $11.15. This is a second year of the funding recommended in the grant, so our partners can continue to provide employability training, job placement, and retention services for these individuals. Pending any questions, I would ask for your approval of this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, move for passage of 636-17.
This is the collaborative that we had that got the great editorials that was so important to, and the service that these agencies do is
Yes.
so important to the refugees that come into our community.
Yes.
So thank you.
Yes.
And thanks to all of these agencies that work together to provide these services.
And Commissioners, I want to make mention that, normally we can kind of project how many refugees we're going to be receiving. This year, we cannot make those projections just because of some of the changes that are happening on the federal level.
Right. Well, thank you for being ever ready and the other agencies that are working together. This
Thank
is
you.
really important work.
Thank you.
And I second the resolution.
Moved and second in voting, Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Resolution number 636-17 has been adopted.
Thanks, Joy. The Office on Aging.
Resolution number 637-17, resolution authorizing a contract with Direct Effect Solutions to provide implementing workforce and technology services in the amount of $45,000.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. I'm Amy Funk with Franklin County Office on Aging. I'm the Manager of Finance and Operations. This resolution is for a contract with Direct Effects Solutions for workforce and technology services in the amount of $45,000. Direct Effects Solutions conducted an operational review of the Senior Options Program as a part of the levy review in 2016. Office on Aging now desires to implement the organizational, workforce, and technology recommendations that were presented in the operational assessment. This contract is for 6 months and is in effect until March 12th of 2018. Pending any questions, I would ask your approval of this resolution.
Thank you. If there are no comments or questions, move for passage of 637-17.
Second.
Moved in second and voting, Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Resolution number 637-17 has been adopted.
Thanks, Amy.
Thank you.
Economic Development and Planning.
Resolution number 638-17, resolution amending the county's federal citizen participation plan, adopting the Department of Housing and Urban Development's affirmatively furthering fair housing rule.
Morning, Commissioners. James Schimmer, Director of Economic Development and Planning, joined at the dais by Mark Paxson. Mark will take you through this first resolution this morning.
Good morning, Commissioners. This resolution seeks to amend the county's federal citizen participation plan. This is for the purpose of affirmatively furthering fair housing. The U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development issued a final rule requiring grantees to affirm the obligation to further fair housing in its communities. The county's participation plan essentially specifies how the county will ensure citizen participation in regards to setting community development priorities, identifying strategies to achieve those priorities, as well as the allocation of county HUD federal funds. In regards to the plan, what will be incorporated is accommodating the new rule as well as securing community participation in regards to the analysis of fair housing data and how the county will assess fair housing issues, identifying fair housing priorities and goals. So essentially, our receipt of dollars is mandated by compliance with this rule. I'd also like to thank Mr. Anderson for all the time he spent in regards to helping craft this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, move for passage of 638-17.
Second.
Moved and second in voting, Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Resolution number 638-17 has been adopted. Resolution number 639-17, resolution approving a reciprocal easement agreement and subordination of an existing county loan for the National Church Residence Avondale Woods project.
This resolution seeks approving a reciprocal easement agreement and subordination for the Avondale Woods project. Back in 2011, the Board of Commissioners approved the allocation of home funds to National Church Residences. This was to construct Avondale Woods, which is a 100-unit affordable housing project. It's on Avery Road in Dublin, Ohio. National Church Residences is now seeking a second phase to this project, adding 100 more units. The issue here is both developments will have separate ownership entities in order to benefit the residents through efficient operations, to have cross easements, to allow them to share the amenities at both sites. This easement and subordination is required in order to allow that so the residents can have the full fare of amenities provided by both development structures.
If there are no comments or questions, move for passage of 639-17.
Second.
Moved and second in voting, Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Resolution number 639-17 has been adopted. Resolution number 640-17, review of petition to annex 16.09 acres from Plain Township to the City of Columbus, case number ANX-13-17.
Good morning, Commissioners. Jenny Snap, Assistant Director, Economic Development and Planning. Sorry. This resolution is to consider an expedited Type 1 annexation petition of 16.09 acres from Plain Township to the City of Columbus. The area to be annexed includes property located at 7440 and 7488 Lee Road. That's east and west of Lee Road, south of Walnut, and north of East Dublin-Granville Road. That's also east of the Hoover Reservoir. The petition was filed by Agent Attorney Aaron Underhill of Underhill and Hodge, and I believe Mr. Underhill is in attendance if you have any questions, on behalf of the property owners Anthony Panzone, Philip Gardner, and Benjamin and Janet Sims. 8.3% of the site's perimeter is contiguous to the City of Columbus, and the applicant has provided a copy of the annexation agreement between Plain Township and the City of Columbus. And in this case, the annexation agreement is required per per the ORC regarding Type 1, expedited Type 1 annexations. The petition meets all statutory requirements outlined in 709.022 of the Ohio Revised Code, and pending any questions, we request your approval.
If there are no comments or questions, move for passage of 640-17.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Resolution number 640-17 has been adopted. Resolution number 641-17, review of petition to annex .4 acres from Jackson Township to the City of Grove City, case number ANX-16-17.
This resolution is to consider a municipal annexation. The acreage is 0.4 acres from Jackson Township to the City of Grove City. The area to be annexed includes portions of Stringtown Road public right-of-way, that's east of Jackson Pike and south of Interstate 270. Petition was filed by agent and City Law Director Stephen Smith on behalf of the City of Grove City, and the City of Grove City has authorized the annexation of the described territory under Ordinance number C-37-17 that was passed on July 17, 2017. The petition meets all statutory requirements of 709.016 of the Ohio Revised Code, and pending any questions, we request your approval.
If there are no comments or questions, move for passage of 641-17.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Resolution number 641-17 has been adopted.
Thanks, Janet.
You're welcome. Thanks.
Resolution number 642-17, resolution approving the recommendations of the 2017 Franklin County Tax Incentive Review Councils.
Commissioners, as you know, we are required by Ohio law to do an annual review of our tax incentive program. We've done that this year, and I'd like to have Josh Roth take you through that. I want to point out one really interesting accolade that we got. We are the second in the nation in regards for transparency, according to a firm out of Washington called Good Jobs First. A number of communities across the country do not actually have internet access or public access to records. So it's one of the things that we do, and we're really proud of the fact that we were pointed out in that regard to have what we consider to be some excellent transparency. But this is really a case where our tax incentive portfolio has been in place and is very transparent. We have a citizen group that reviews these each year, and we do a pretty good job, I think, and I was really pleased to see that we got this award, and an accolade, I guess, is more. It's not necessarily an award, but we were recognized for our transparency, and
I
that's...
think that's really terrific, and I appreciate that you and the team are as transparent, and the Tax Incentive Review Committee does their work so well. So who's the first in that group, and what do they do differently?
Yeah, I think that's a good question, and I don't know the answer.
I mean, we should
Sorry.
we should
Yeah.
find out if there's something we ought to be doing even more so, as we're looking at always continuous improvement. That's all I would say. But I do know that Tax Incentive Review Committee does their work and takes their work very seriously, and I appreciate that very much.
They absolutely do. So Josh, why don't you run through?
Sure. Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So the County Tax Incentive Review Councils convened on August 2nd, and the purpose of this resolution is to accept and approve of their recommendations. We had 2 agreements reviewed by the Jefferson Township Turk, and both of these were with TS Tech. We had 3 agreements that were reviewed by the Hamilton Township Turk, and those were with Vision Services Plan, Exeter, and Pinchel and Company. Each of these companies has exceeded the committed terms per their agreement. And just to give you some summary statistics on this, 732 jobs were created, which is 583 more than the agreement required. There were 363 jobs retained, 27 million in new payroll, which is 19 million more than required. And then $41 million in real property improvements were made, which is $14 million more than was required. We had 2 Turks convened to review pre-94 CRAs, which of course don't have any agreements. But there were 84 jobs created as a result of tax abatements in those two zones. So pending any questions that you'd have, we'd ask for you to accept the recommendations made by the Turks.
Sure, if there are no further comments or questions, move for passage of 642-17.
I'll second that.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Resolution number 642-17 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thanks, Commissioners.
Yes, thanks, Josh. Child support enforcement.
Resolution number 643-17, resolution authorizing a contract between the Franklin County Child Support Enforcement Agency and Jewish Family Services to provide work readiness services as part of the CARE PJAC federal grant in the amount not to exceed $292,000.
Good morning, Commissioners. Lori Torriero, representing the Franklin County Child Support Enforcement Agency. This resolution approves a contract between the county and Jewish Family Services Incorporated to provide work readiness and other services to clients who are participating in the procedural justice grant the agency received in 2016. The grant focuses on child support obligors who are in danger of referral to the civil contempt process and therefore potentially would face jail time, to determine whether other types of interventions such as personal outreach, case conferencing, work readiness services, including ancillary services that might be needed by that client, would be more effective in gaining compliance with the child support order. Jewish Family Services was a named community partner in our grant application, and the contract was prepared by our purchasing department and reviewed by the prosecutor's office. We've opened a purchase order for $25,000 to cover costs for the remainder of 2017, and then we'll open additional purchase orders in future years as grant activities kind of ramp up. Pending any questions, we'd request approval of this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, move for passage of 643-17.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Resolution number 643-17 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Homeland Security and Justice Programs.
Resolution number 644-17, resolution authorizing a professional services contract with Courtney Benner for provision of reentry data collection and administrative services through the FY 2015 Justice and Mental Health Collaborative in the amount of $10,000.
Good morning, Commissioners. Melissa Pearson on behalf of the Franklin County Justice Policy and Programs. At your discretion, or at your direction, I should say, and with your guidance, Franklin County is committed to the bold goal of reducing recidivism by 30% by the year 2020. This commitment to moving the needle does require some personnel time in order to monitor recidivism information very closely. As you know, we need to monitor both city, state, and county level information systems, none of which are easily queryable. With that said, the Justice and Mental Health Collaboration Grant awarded to Franklin County does allow for funding to support this type of robust data collection and analysis. For this reason, we are requesting your approval of a professional services contract with Ms. Courtney Benner, who served as our previous intern and provided a lot of this type of robust data collection. Courtney is being asked to provide, if approved by this contract, 8 to 10 hours of data collection, analysis, and other administrative services. Pending your approval, we request your approval of this contract.
If there are no comments or questions, move for passage of 644-17.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Resolution number 644-17 has been adopted. Resolution number 645-17, resolution authorizing a non-general fund supplemental appropriation for various operational expenditures.
Good morning. Greg Plants with Homeland Security and Justice Programs. This resolution would authorize supplemental appropriation in the amount of $77,000 to support basic operational expenses throughout the year with our unit's expansion, expenditures such as temporary staffing, tuition reimbursement, travel expenses, and office supplies. Pending any questions, we request your approval.
If there are no comments or questions, move for passage of 645-17.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Resolution number 645-17 has been adopted.
Thanks, Commissioner.
Thank you.
Thanks, Greg. Thanks, Melissa. Human Resources.
Resolution number 646-17, resolution authorizing a settlement of workers' compensation claims against the county by Julie Whitney Scott in the amount of $25,000.
Good morning, Commissioners. Jerry Bauer, representing Human Resources. This first resolution settles the open workers' compensation claims, two claims for former Job and Family Services employee Julie Whitney Scott. Pending any questions, I'd ask for approval of this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, move for passage of 646-17.
Second.
Moved and second in voting, Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Resolution number 646-17 has been adopted. Resolution number 647-17, resolution authorizing the settlement of workers' compensation claim against the county by William Patterson in the amount of $10,000.
Yes, this second resolution, Commissioners, authorizes the settlement of one claim for a former sheriff's employee, William Patterson. Pending any questions, I'd seek approval of this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, move for passage of 647-17.
Second.
Moved and second in voting, Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Resolution number 647-17 has been adopted. Resolution number 648-17, resolution authorizing the settlement of workers' compensation claim against the county by Dennis Steele in the amount of $2,000.
Yes, this resolution, Commissioners, settles actually 4 claims filed by Mr. Steele, who is a former employee of the Sheriff's Office. And pending any questions, I ask for approval of this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, move for passage of 648-17.
Second.
Moved and second in voting, Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Resolution number 648-17 has been adopted. Resolution number 649-17, resolution authorizing the settlement of workers' compensation claim against the county by William McCoy in the amount of $5,000.
Yes, Commissioners. This resolution authorizes the settlement of 2 claims filed by Mr. Mr. William McCoy, who was an auxiliary deputy sheriff with the Sheriff's Office. Pending any questions, I'd ask for approval of this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, move for passage of 649-17.
Second.
Moved and second in voting, Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Resolution number 649-17 has been adopted. Resolution number 650-17, resolution authorizing the settlement of workers' compensation claim against the county by Alex Hawkins in the amount of $20,000.
This resolution settles the one claim of a former animal control and care employee, Alex Hawkins. Pending any questions, I'd ask for approval of this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, move for passage of 650-17.
Second.
Moved and second in voting, Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Resolution number 650-17 has been adopted.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next, Chair. Purchasing.
Resolution number 651-17, resolution approving purchases for various Franklin County agencies in the amount of $2,151,418.07.
Good morning, Commissioners. Carl Cuthbert, representing the Purchasing Department. This resolution requests your approval of 119 purchase orders. These purchase orders have been pre-certified as availability funds by the county auditor. If any questions, I recommend their approval.
If there are no comments or questions, move for passage of 651-17.
Second.
Moved and second in voting, Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Resolution number 651-17 has been adopted.
Thank you. Thanks, Carl. Board of Commissioners.
Resolution number 652-17, resolution accepting the amounts and rates as determined by the Budget Commission for collection in calendar year 2018 and authorizing the necessary tax levies and certifying them to the county auditor.
Good morning, Commissioners. Zach Telerik with the Office of Management and Budget. This resolution is the annual authorization that's required pursuant to Section 5705.34 of the revised code that's to be completed before October 1st. This will allow for the levying of the various property tax levies for the county for collection in 2018. Pending any questions, would ask for your approval of this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, move for passage of 652-17.
Second.
Moved and second in voting, Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Resolution number 652-17 has been adopted.
Antoine, do we have our journalizations?
We have 2 today from Economic Development and Planning. Expedited Type 2 Annexation Case Number ANX-18-17 was filed with Franklin County Economic Development and Planning Department on September 6, 2017. The petition is requesting to annex 7.3 acres of Truro Township to the City of Columbus. The petition will be considered by the Board of Commissioners on October 10, 2017. Site 198 McNaughton Road, PID number 263-000-913. Also, an expedited Type 2 annexation case number ANX-19-17 was filed with the Franklin County Economic Development and Planning Department on September 6, 2017. The petition is requesting to annex 1.858 acres from Jefferson Township to the City of Gahanna. The petition will be considered by the Board of Commissioners on October 10, 2017. Site 4200 Johnstown Road, PID number 170-001834.
Okay. Well, that concludes the business before the board for September 12, 2017. We'll see everybody next week.